He was definitely the saver.
Okay.
And he still is. And I have always been the spender. I've always loved nice things, expensive things.
Somehow they afforded to send me to private school. Don't know how. I didn't know how they sent me then. Now that I understand how money works, I understand even less how they afforded to send me to private school.
Because I'm constantly asked how. How did we save so young?
I mean, he's got access to the internet.
Yeah,
like
right.
if it's on the internet, it pulls and analyzes, and it also, I think, cloud sources other people.
And I'm self-filming a lot of videos.
That's cool.
I'm gonna do some professional videos to kind of like build it up and use.
Welcome in, everyone, to Real Talk with My Homies. I'm your host, Jake Wardrip, licensed real estate agent with Homepage Realty, and today I'm joined by another one of my homies, Morgan Bowling. Yes, over at Homepage with me. Morgan is here. We're doing a deal together. That's not why she's here, but we could talk about it for a minute just to see what's going on with it. And but Morgan is a soon-to-be author. I guess technically, when do you become an author?
Well, the book already has a title, so I'm officially an author.
There you go. Yeah, I was just curious, like, where is it, chicken or an egg? Do you have to release a book to be an author? Do you have to be a writer to be an author?
I guess you probably have to publish it to be like official.
So are you? So,
I'm in the process.
So you're an aspiring author
Yes.
under those pretenses.
Yes.
For all intents and purposes, though, the book's going to be released. You'll be an author in due time. But we want to have Morgan on, talk about the book. We'll also talk about some other stuff and talk about some real estate maybe here and there also. So just for context, Morgan is with Homepage. I don't know where you were before, so apologies on that. But over the last 5 years, I don't know if you knew this or not, pulled your GLAR stats. So this is everything on market, does not include off market stuff. You have sold 139 homes for a grand total of $31 million over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So obviously that doesn't include all. Yeah, it's all MLS stuff. So it doesn't include off market.
Do you know?
Don't know. No idea. I just went to the MLS, pulled up the filter for listing agent and selling agent, and typed in your name, and then went 5 years back. So it's about as accurate as I could get without getting into the weeds. Yep. Morgan obviously currently writing a book. Or do we know? Well, you know, but does the public know the name of the book?
I have included it a little bit, but I haven't actually released the name of it. And I mean, I don't mind to go ahead.
It's up to you. Yeah. This is your hour to shine.
Yeah. So the name of the book is Millionaire Marriage.
Okay. And when is it projected to be completed and released? Do we have dates?
Spring.
Spring 2026.
Yeah, 2026.
Perfect. Be like an Amazon book as well.
It will be on Amazon. It'll be on Kindle, and then I'm also doing Audible.
You're gonna do an audiobook. Did you get somebody famous to do the reading, or are you gonna do it?
No, I'm gonna do the reading myself.
I've heard that is intense.
Yeah, I'm putting myself up for it. I think I can do it. I think the more authentic it is, the more it will just kind of sound more real, and people will listen.
In reality, Morgan Freeman just couldn't. You guys just couldn't get your schedules lined up.
Yeah, right.
He really wanted to do it, but
just couldn't get him.
Couldn't get the schedules lined up. I know it's fine. I get it. You know, your schedule's busy, and you know maybe Morgan can find some time in his busy schedule to make it work. But all right, we've got to pay some bills, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So Scott Taylor isn't just your State Farm agent. He's your neighbor, your supporter, and your go-to for insurance with a local heartbeat. Protect what matters most when with someone who knows what matters most. Scott Taylor at State Farm, where local really matters. Good neighbors make great agents. Call Scott Taylor at State Farm, serving your hometown with more than just coverage. To contact Scott, get a free quote. He is my insurance agent for what it's worth. 502-449-4300. Cannot speak highly enough of him. He is a friend of mine, but also, checks in every now and again beyond just the friends. And it's like, hey, let's look at your policy.
That's rare.
Let's check it out. I send him business. I've got several clients that have gone to him.
It's nice to have those relationships.
It's great to have those relationships. He is one of the best relationships I have in this industry. So, Scott, I know you're listening. Thank you for everything, buddy. All right. Let's talk about AI. I got put onto Sora AI not too long ago, a couple days ago. Literally just a couple days ago, I finally got access to it. I've tried for like a week. And they had like a beta, I guess, out that you had to get an access code. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Basically, it is ChatGPT for videos.
That's
and
amazing.
You can do, as long as you're not, I've learned this, I played on it an hour last night, literally. Like, I won the Golden Buzzer on America's Got Talent. I made a country song. through it. Yeah, crazy. I was driving in a Lamborghini. Tried doing some video stuff.
Scary.
Tried doing some video stuff with houses.
Yeah.
But so far, it doesn't. I'm way too happy. like a fake happy. So
right.
I need to figure out a way to throttle down the excitement level
that is so
on
cool.
it to do it. But yeah, super fun.
I've not used that. I'll have to check into
I'll
that.
show you some of the videos when we get off because it doesn't really translate on this platform, but they're hilarious. My wife got on it and started playing with it as well and having fun with it. So like we were on it for like an hour last night.
So is it a free app?
Yeah, it's a free app. It's literally ChatGPT for videos.
That is wild.
It's insane.
So is there a pro version of that, I guess, too?
I don't know yet. I think it's still so early on that you can't really, I think there's still a lot of like things that it can do that probably we, the public, don't even realize it can do.
Right.
So what's wild is it understands like camera movement as well. Like it does camera angle changes. So it's not just, standing in front of a green screen and talking and there's a video behind you. Like
That's
it
neat.
puts you in the action.
That is
Like,
so cool.
It's insane.
That's a game changer.
It is. Now, how do we apply it? We got to figure that out. But it's fun as hell just to play with.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
To kill some time, it's fun as hell.
Right. See what you can come up with.
So worth checking out. Cool little app. Like I said, I'll show you some of the videos I did after we get off. But sticking on the topic of AI, ChatGPT is obviously the number one that people talk about all the time. You've got Grok, which is Elon's OpenAI,
Yeah.
but I think really ChatGPT has kind of become like the Google of AI.
I think everybody's using it.
Everybody uses it. I used it for a long time for my public remarks on listings because you could spend 20 seconds doing it and it's going to be 10 times better than what it would take me 30 minutes
Now
to
I
do.
use it for everything. It's amazing. Just even in my personal life.
Yes, hey, I need a Facebook post. Here's my post. Polish this up for me.
Yes.
Like I use that the most probably of anything. Is I don't want to become fully dependent on it because I do like the creative process.
Exactly.
I enjoy the creative process. So I do what I need to do, and then I run it through ChatGPT to kind of
get the ideas.
Yeah, I use it as more of an editor. Mm-hmm. So I give it 90% of what I've got, and then it'll polish it, maybe fix a couple grammatical errors, throw in a couple emojis, things like that, just to kind of pretty it up for content.
For spreadsheets. I mean, even just as far as like my kids' sports schedule, just like putting all the schedules into one, and it can make a calendar based off that. I mean, just
it's
an amazing
so good.
amount of tools that people don't realize.
No, not at all. So it's funny you say that. We didn't set this up for this at all, but I asked ChatGPT itself, what are 10 features that people may not know that you do? And I pulled some of those. So the first one is analyze data and files. I've started using this probably in the last couple of months with spreadsheets, where I'll upload a spreadsheet to it and say, give me some key takeaways from this, any trends that you notice, things like that. So it's really good if you upload like MLS data in bulk. You can have it run analytics on sales price to list price. Is there a correlation to days on market?
Think about doing that.
Exactly. So
That's
and you
great.
can just upload a screenshot of run a one-line CMA and just upload a screenshot into it from your desktop. And it'll say, based on this, and this, I see this, and that. So I've used that myself multiple occasions.
It's a save timer. It's a time saver.
Massive.
For sure.
I've got we're managing some vacation rentals as of the last couple of months, and moving forward, we're going to be doing that. One of my clients has a massive spreadsheet that is like his master spreadsheet for everything, and I uploaded that to it and said, "Hey, give me some analytics and some advice on how to cut costs and do that." And it's giving me all these little things like do this and you can save 2%. Do this and you can increase revenue by X amount. I have it running dynamic pricing for us, where if a rental is clicked on a bunch of times for a certain weekend, obviously that weekend is popular.
Right.
They may not book it, but there's a lot of people looking for stuff that weekend. So it will start to tick up in the price per night so that we can maximize our ROI.
Right.
If there's weekends that nobody's clicking on, it will slowly start to drop those prices so that we can get somebody in there.
Right, yeah,
We've got our baseline.
balance it.
Hey, we're not going below this, but let's try, I'm just picking numbers for conversation. Say we don't want to go below $250 a night. Well, our standard rate's $325 a night. So if nobody is renting, $320, $315, $310, like it just starts dropping it until somebody books it. And the same way with if somebody is clicking it, even if they're not booking it, $330, $340, $350, it starts going up as people are clicking on it. So that's an interesting thing that it's doing. But we've used AI for that.
Really?
Yeah, it saves so much time.
Mm-hmm. It is. It just saves so much time.
Create and edit images is another thing that it does. Have you ever had ChatGPT make an image for you?
Yeah.
They suck half the time, I'm going to be honest.
I've noticed
a lot of misspelled words.
Over probably the last 6 months, it's really, really improved, which I've been told that it's going to continue to improve. I have noticed a big difference because sometimes like my image, there was a few times with me and my business partner, Brian, and it would be us, but our faces would be swapped in the photo or almost hilarious. But now I'm seeing where there's a lot less misspelled words. The images are looking a lot more real, I guess you should say.
I've had instances where I had a misspelled word and I was like, hey, fix this word. It needs to be spelled like this. And it's like, oh, sorry, here's your next image. And it's a completely different image. Like they didn't even fix what I asked. They just did something completely different. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what are you doing over there?
I think you have to tell it, do not make any other changes.
I've been as specific as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's like talking to a human, So
it's like talking to a toddler sometimes.
Yeah, or a toddler.
Yes. Summarizes conversations or recordings. Using ChatGPT's record mode, it can extract key takeaways, tasks, and follow-ups from meetings and brainstorm sessions. I have not used this before. I know that there are, in our industry, there are agents that you can actually use ChatGPT to run simulations of conversations with clients.
I have in some stressful situations.
Yeah, I don't like talking to a robot like that, so I have not entertained that idea yet. Also, don't really have a script.
I think I've used it in situations where it's been where I'm just in a situation where I'm very, very stressed, and it kind of just puts me back into my professional mode. Although,
it's also your therapist.
My therapist, but how do I handle the situation? And I feel like it's given me some really good advice on how to handle situations and looking up. I saved a deal last year by trying to get a contact information from a direct person from the IRS.
Oh, geez.
And we could not find it anywhere, the lender, anything. And ChatGPT got us the direct phone number that we needed.
That's crazy.
It was wild. And after that, I was like, I'm in,
Yeah. We were at Seaside last week for fall break. And my son, not to get into too personal of details, but my son was having some issues with breathing. He had RSV and COVID when he was 3 months old. So anything respiratory really messes with him. We go to Florida, different environment, different temperatures. I just chalk up night one as allergies. It was kind of bugging me a little bit as well. Like I said, I already know anything respiratory kind of messes with him a little bit more. So my wife and I just assumed it was allergies. Well, the next night it got way worse. And he started having different symptoms. So we used ChatGPT and said, you're an expert pediatrician. What, based on these symptoms, because I'm not doing WebMD. WebMD is going to tell me he's got lung cancer. And now I'm freaking out. So I think ChatGPT is good in that sense that it's not a panic pusher like WebMD maybe is. So just asked it, these are symptoms, this is his age, these are the circumstances, gave the full rundown of everything. And they were like, it's likely he has croup. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's kind of what we thought it was. Then we dug a little, and it was like it asked me follow-up questions like a doctor would, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're digging deeper into that, and it's like now you definitely need to take him to an emergency room. As an expert opinion is take him to an emergency room and then contact your pediatrician in the morning. So we ran him to the emergency room at 1:30 in the morning down in Seaside, Florida, and spent 5 hours there. But it was like, I have that much confidence in ChatGPT on things like that I'm not going to administer medical treatment because of it. But if it's telling me I should probably take my kid to the emergency room, we're going to do that.
Right, exactly.
I'm not asking it how much Tylenol to give him because I'm going to talk to a doctor for that.
Right.
But
yeah. But I have been told that it does have, I think where like, I guess, access to some kind of medical.
I mean, it's got access to the internet.
Yeah,
like if it's on the internet, it pulls and analyzes, and it also, I think, cloud sources other people. I'm sure there have been doctors that have asked it questions and given it full context about this is information. Just using our specific example, croup. This is things about croup. Blah blah blah. So it retains that information, and it just gets smarter and faster and better.
It has. It's really gotten a lot smarter.
Yeah, I see all those horror stories though, where like AI will, when they make a new version of ChatGPT, there was an article that stated like the old version tried to like upload itself to a different server to like self-preservation because it knew that when I think we're on like ChatGPT 5. So like when 6 comes out, 5 is they essentially I think shut off like the servers basically and kill the AI. So I think it knows
information just lost. Or?
No, I think I think they store the information, but like ChatGPT thinks it's like a person. So it's like, I don't want to die, so I'm going to do this instead. But yeah, crazy stuff. So the last one I have, and then we got to get rolling because we got a book we got to talk about, is the Zillow integration. This is super prevalent in our industry now. Did you know that there's a Zillow plugin now?
No.
So you can go into ChatGPT. You don't go to Zillow to do it. You go to ChatGPT to do it. And you just simply tell it, you're having a conversation now with a quasi home search. There's no, I'm looking for a house in Louisville, 3-bed, 2-bath, under 400,000. But the one thing that I like that it talks about is there's no filter on Zillow for big backyard.
There's
like you can search for acres, but like, is it wooded? Is it obsolete? Is it a massive front yard? You can tell it like, I want a big, beautiful, flat backyard. Like you can just have a general conversation with it and it'll send you listings that it believes.
It's amazing.
And it saves those conversations. So you can go back and look at them and you can piggyback off of it. Say you want to look for a super specific house in Taylorsville, but then you're also open to LaGrange and you don't want those two conversations overlapping. So you can have your conversation with it about Taylorsville, and then you can also have your conversation with it about LaGrange, and then cross-reference them on different threads, which is
awesome.
Yeah, super smart.
There's so many filters on the MLS, and I don't like using so many filters because sometimes they're like 1.5 bath, for instance.
Yep.
I have someone that's open to 2 bathrooms, so one of them could be a half bath, but there's not really a way to set that in the MLS.
Well, you also have to rely on the fact that the listing agent is putting in all the information correct. And I'm not saying that they're doing it maliciously, but they may do it on accident.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. So you don't want a house that maybe would have been the one to fall through the cracks because of a technicality.
Well, I'm going to have to start using that now.
Yeah. So it integrates only with Zillow. It doesn't do anything on Flex or the MLS.
Yeah. That's neat.
But it will pull listings from, I have not done it. It could be terrible. It could be horrible. So I did not have time to. I kind of put that together.
Well,
I added that last night. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look at it. I want to know. And again, I doubt you have the answer to this, but there's a way. I'm sure people will start going to ChatGPT and saying, "Who's the go-to real estate agent in Louisville or Mount Washington or LaGrange or New Albany? Pick your city." How do you position yourself? It's more rhetorical than anything. How do you position yourself to be the one that ChatGPT answers with?
I guess just putting yourself out on the web.
I know,
constantly, just always on the web.
There's got to be a way though to to do it. I know you don't have the answer. It's more rhetorical than anything.
I mean, that's the only thing I could guess. I have asked ChatGPT. Who is Morgan Bowling, and it is wild.
Yeah, it's creepy. I did that too. Yeah.
And I'm sure it's not like that for everybody, but if you're on the web a lot, so.
There's certain people that have
that's a really good question.
Zero presence online.
Yeah.
Like my dad has zero presence online. Like I'm sure it has. I'm like, who's Jerry Wardrip? I'm like, who?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Same with my parents. That's really, really interesting. I would like to find out. If it really will work.
The Zillow? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I'll play with it and we'll report back. Next episode, we'll report back. All right, another ad read. Easy Equity Loan Program. I'm excited to share my partnership with Senior Family Solutions and their Easy Equity Loan Program. I literally just closed on a house yesterday with Michelle Curlin. Shout out, Michelle. On this program. So do the ad read and I'll tell you about it in a minute. Game changer for sellers looking to maximize their home's value. This home allows sellers to tap into their home's equity with no upfront cost, covering everything from contractor coordination to invoices, all paid at closing. Whether you're downsizing, upgrading, or simply preparing your home for top dollar, this program makes renovation seamless and stress-free. If you're ready to take advantage of this opportunity, contact me directly or visit Senior Family Solutions to get started. So I don't know the full setup. This house had like $20,000 on it from a mortgage. So it was a $500,000 house. They only owned like $20,000. So I think it's like I think they'll loan up to 25% of the equity in the home based on CMAs.
Okay.
I think it ended up being $4,000 in interest that we ended up paying, but that was because of the timeline. But we ended up doing $71,000 worth of repairs. The sellers didn't have to pay a penny of that. They paid it out of their proceeds. So we were able to rehab the home, do some value adds to it, redo a kitchen, get some new floors, get some new paint, pretty up the outside of the house, kind of update it a little bit. It was grandma's house, so you could tell it was loved, but it also, grandma didn't update the cabinets in the kitchen, since she bought the house for, whatever reason. She didn't have to. It's her house. She can do with that as she pleases. Right. But we're trying to get it up to par with the neighborhood and up to par with a price that house deserves to get. So it was a really cool project, really fun project to do. But yeah, we closed on it literally yesterday.
I saw that on.
Closed on it yesterday, and they cut a check from proceeds.
That's great.
Straight out to the senior homepage stars.
There's a lot of people in that situation that could use that.
And it doesn't have to be $70,000 worth of repairs. Like maybe you just want to get some new floors before you list the house.
Right.
And hey, money's a little tight. We're already buying a new house. Let's just tap into the equity.
Floors and paint make the biggest difference.
They do. But with that program, you don't have to do it. You don't have to pay for it out of pocket. You don't have to try and finance it, throw it on a credit card, anything like that. You can just pay out of the proceeds.
That's great.
All right. The book.
Yes, the book.
The book. So you like you said earlier, it's going out on
early
2026.
Yes, early spring.
Are you doing all of it at one time? Is the audio coming out with the hard copy, or are you doing hard copy and then you'll start?
It's probably going to be hard copy and Kindle first, and then hopefully within a month or two follow.
How many pages?
We're looking at about 40,000 words.
How many pages is that?
The book's not finished yet. We're looking at probably roughly around 150 pages.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not going to be too.
Are there any
bad.
pictures? I'm a big picture guy.
No pictures.
No pictures. All right. I'll do the audiobook.
Yeah, the audiobook's going to be great. And
I'll do the audiobook while I'm driving.
And I'm self-filming a lot of videos.
That's cool.
I'm going to do some professional videos to kind of like build it up and use props and stuff to kind of like show, the whole story in person.
Yeah.
Because the book, I feel like, can come off a little misleading in a way, and that's kind of why I'm doing, the podcast and the videos and talking about it. Because of the title and
well, it's a eye-catching title.
Yes, it is, and it's never to come off braggy. That is one thing that I definitely want to steer away from. But it's more of just a teaching tool and to give others hope.
Yep. So you mentioned growing up with very different money habits.
Yes.
I got a bunch of notes. So when I say she mentioned it, it was in the notes that she gave me, just for context purposes.
Yes.
So you and your husband grew up with different money habits. How did those differences shape the early years together? Was it a lot of conflict? Was it, who was the penny pincher and who was the spender?
He was definitely the saver.
Okay.
And he still is. And I have always been the spender. I've always loved nice things,
Mm-hmm.
expensive things. And we got married young, 22. And so we owned our first home before we got married, actually. But we've been together since teenagers.
Yeah.
Story short. But, when we got together, we didn't have jobs. We both, he played football. I cheered in high school. And when we got out of high school and started working, yes, I was spending my money and he was saving all, and I grew up kind of spoiled, I was almost like an only child. So he saved for little things always. He saved for his first trampoline, his own bike as a kid. So he kind of grew up with those habits of saving, and me, not so much. So we clashed. We definitely clashed. But I think we also balanced each other out in the long run.
It's okay to spend a little money every now and again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think
you work hard,
right?
Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Exactly. And, so I feel like us clashing balanced us out. We kind of got on the same page and laid out really what the big picture could look like if we stayed on track with. It was more of his idea, I should say. But once he gave me the full picture, I was on board. This is the way to go.
When did it become obvious, like, we should think about writing a book?
Actually, not that long ago. This year is when I made the decision to do so. And I think the main reason is because I'm constantly asked how did we save so young? How did we pay off homes so young? How did we do it? And we see the front end of people's finances all of the time. And I feel like people need to know, they need to be taught, they need help, that it can be done.
You don't need a massive pay raise to save. Correct.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, when we bought our first home, we were we were making $10 an hour and $11 an hour.
I remember those days.
And we actually paid off our first home with close to that income.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember you said that your first house you bought it for $55,000.
Yes.
And you were doing like repairs as you go.
Yes.
What was the hardest pay as you go repair that you guys did?
It was definitely hard. All of it. So first, the house needed a new roof. So that was kind of like
those aren't cheap.
The top thing, and that was one of the things that we had to spend the most amount of money on. That didn't really give us any nicer appearance, you know, and I was all about the appearance. And but when we moved in, our house had just very few cabinets. We slept on air mattresses for the first few months, but we were proud, it was ours, and we enjoyed the process. That was the hard part, was waiting, because I wanted it now. And
I think it's almost even harder in 2025 to wait, because we live in this instant gratification world of, those quick hitter dopamine hits of you make a Facebook post and you get a bunch of likes, and, it just makes you feel good that you're putting something out that people enjoy. And same thing with Instagram. You put out a video and you get a bunch of likes and comments, and it's like, oh, that was awesome. I want to do that again. So like having the patience to wait is kudos to you for doing that in 2025.
It was very hard. It was very hard at the very beginning. There were, a lot of our friends were purchasing homes, nicer homes than us. Their first homes were a lot nicer than ours, buying new cars, going on trips. I felt like we were behind for a long time. That's how I felt, although I knew in the back of my mind we weren't. But it was hard. But I feel like we use that now today, that the patience and the waiting pays off in the long run.
Yeah. Did you guys do like the Dave Ramsey method? Did you all?
Yes. My husband is a huge, big Dave Ramsey fan, but we haven't necessarily followed all his steps.
Yeah, some of his stuff I think is a little.
So I don't know what he would have to say about, our steps, but I feel like we still achieved, a goal pretty young by still following his steps and adding in our own. But real estate really is the biggest factor of it all. It just, investing in real estate young.
So you guys have, I remember you telling me you have the first house that you bought for $55,000. You sold it for, I think, like $127,000 or something like that. Nice little chunk of change back to you guys, and then you bought a new house, and that is still the same house you live in today?
No.
Okay.
So we moved again. Right. And so we took all of the money from when we sold the first house and put every single penny into the second house. And we only lived there for a short time because we got pregnant with our third child. And the real estate
market... Hard to just make a bedroom.
Yes. Well, we had an unfinished basement, and I didn't want to put our kid down there. But I feel like our move was a very smart move. Mm-hmm. And so when we moved again in 2020, and that's when the market went crazy. Mm-hmm. So our home now is worth quite a bit more than what we purchased for.
We bought a house in 2020 as well, right before everything kind of like, we got our house when everyone was like scared to even like look at someone because he'd give them COVID.
Yes.
So like we got in, I think there was like, at one point I remember seeing there was as low as 700 and something houses available on the MLS. Like today there's probably 3,600.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still remember it was
wild times.
I remember when it got back over 1,000, it was like, oh man, here we go.
Right. Yeah. Finally 1,000 houses.
Finally 1,000 houses available in all of Louisville, the surrounding counties in southern Indiana. But we bought a house as well at that time. I don't even know what it's worth right now.
We were in a bidding war too.
We weren't. Somehow we got a contingent offer written, accepted, then went back and got our house listed and sold before anyone else pushed us on the contingency.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
which we're seeing more contingencies now, but
yeah, it's a lot more prevalent. I've got several clients that got their house ready to go, ran it up, just to use a football analogy, we ran it up to the red zone and we're just waiting to punch it in now. Like docs are done, pictures are done, all that good stuff. So I could have it listed in 7 minutes if I needed to. Yep. Go back and rearrange the photos maybe a little bit just to whatever. All right. Did you ever doubt the path you were on when the friends were all living differently? I know you talked about it earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything that sticks out? Like, I really wish we could have done like maybe a friends group going to Florida and you're like, we just don't have it in the budget. Is there anything that sticks out that you're like, man, I really wish we would have been able to do that?
We cut out a lot of vacation trips. New car is the big thing. A lot of, especially when we had our third child, I really needed a third row, but I still drive the same car that I've had for the last 10 years and upgrades like that. And I mean, a lot of it was just my friends going to show them houses, purchasing their first or second house. That was so much nicer than while we were still in our $55,000 home.
Yeah.
It was hard, and we were outgrowing it all the time. We had 2 kids there, 2 toddlers, and no garage, and just trying to stay put. I drove my husband crazy, and I still do, about moving. I pushed him. He pulled me back. Mm-hmm. We probably moved sooner all 3 times than he was a little more comfortable with, but we balance each other out.
At the end of the day, he agreed we do need to move.
Yes.
How do you and your husband balance financial decision making right now? Are you guys all aligned now, or do you still have the I want to spend and he wants to save? Is there still that give and take?
Yes, he's still more the saver and I'm still the spender, but I have realized I don't spend like the difference between spending on just, going and buying different clothes and getting my nails done and that kind of thing is different than making large investments on something that's going to depreciate, like a vehicle. Not saying that buying a new vehicle, because I am going to get a new vehicle soon, but just, I've seen where there's been several times I've had people come to me wanting to buy a house. They can't get pre-approved. They're very, very close. But then I see on Facebook they've purchased, a new home, or a new car, I'm sorry,
yep.
and then they can't afford that. So little things like that, I have definitely realized that those things are not worth your peace, your freedom, because it adds up. Little purchases and big purchases, are different. My husband, he still wears the same basketball shorts from high school. So, he don't care about the materialistic things. Mm-hmm. I buy him things, occasionally, but I've also learned to bargain shop and, we've balanced each other. He spends more than he would have, in high school, but I spend probably less than if I wasn't wasn't married to him.
We're also in an industry that requires a lot of miscellaneous fees and expenses that,
Exactly.
It's not we're not a server where we can just check out and clock out. We don't work in a warehouse where we can just clock out and be done and not worry about, whatever. Right. We're the most that we may need to buy is a pair of boots, right. Or some new jeans. There's a lot of expensive things that sometimes we have to take on with the hope for the ROI in the future.
Yes.
And obviously putting the clients first matters, but also so does your financial piece. That matters too, I think. What was the biggest money argument or lesson learned as a couple?
The biggest money argument, I would say, was mostly just waiting, me wanting it now, and him, pulling me back and keeping me, grounded. Yeah. And that's still, not that we have money arguments, but he still has to pull me back sometimes. And I still push him forward, but that's, a lot of it. I like things now. I'm not big on patience, but this whole process has taught me a lot of patience. And I feel like I'll use that throughout the rest of my life.
Me and my wife are the opposite. I'm the spender. She's the saver.
Okay.
Dad, and I didn't have a lot growing up. I mean, mom was a school teacher, dad was a social worker, and we lived in a 3-bed, 2-bathroom house in J-Town. So it's not like I came from,
Same.
Didn't come from a ton. Somehow they afforded to send me to private school. Don't know how. I didn't know how they sent me then. Now that I understand how money works, I understand even less how they afforded to send me to private school. Doesn't make any sense how they did it, but they did. Always grateful for that and the memories that I had at those schools. But I'm maybe that's why I spend a little bit more, is because I didn't have a ton growing up.
That makes sense. Absolutely.
But they sacrificed all the time for me. Travel baseball, it's not cheap. Hotels every other weekend, going to Atlanta, going to Chicago, or I don't know if I actually went to Chicago, but going to Cincinnati, St. Louis, Atlanta, Florida, then went to Ohio a bunch of times. So that comes with tournament fees and team fees and hotels and gas. And you can't eat a home cooked meal when you're in a hotel. So you got to eat, whether it's fast food or sit down restaurants all the time. And sometimes if the team wants to go to a fancy restaurant, you can't just not go. So you got to pay.
Totally understand. Have 3 kids. And that's why, I feel like I'm grateful for, and the book is to kind of give people hope that you can restart, later on, but if you start young, that's really when it's going to benefit you.
You can never buy time.
Yeah. So I
can use that in the book, by the way. Feel free.
Okay, I sure will. We have 3 kids and we pay for private school too. But if we was not able to do the things that we did in our early years, I don't know that, not necessarily that we wouldn't be able to afford it, but I don't know if we would be on the same, I don't know if we would have both agree or he would agree necessarily. And we both veto, if we're not both comfortable with the decision, we don't proceed, but that's something that we both agreed on, because we can. But I feel like if we were not able to do the things in the early years, we would not be able to do this now, and pay for all the kids' sports. And I'm with you. We have to travel occasionally and all the little extra. I mean, it's just constantly extra. But if you focus, in your early years and sacrifice for it was a short period of time. And we did this in a matter of 10 years. So if you sacrifice, it will pay off in the long run.
What do you teach the kids now about money?
We talk about money all the time.
Yeah.
We're very, very open with it. We have a chore chart for all our children. The oldest gets, the more chores than the youngest. But even the youngest one, she loves doing her chores because she knows that she's earned that money. They look forward to getting that money, at the end of every week to be able to either spend it or save it. And I have realized that a lot of them now are saving, especially my son. I think he's caught on. He's my middle child. It might be that he's a guy, he's a boy. He don't care about as much, but he is really, I feel like teaching them young about, the value of money and what it's worth. We'll go into a store and they'll really start thinking about, what is this really worth, my $20, or should I save this to get something bigger and better in the long run,
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite, and I just buy my daughter whatever she wants. So
this is something new we've really been working on because it did get overboard.
Yeah.
I have no, she's not 9. She's 10. I have a 10-year-old daughter, and
my daughter's 9, so.
Yes, so they're expensive. They
she has a Sephora obsession.
Oh yeah, they love makeup. They love all the expensive
skincare
things.
products, and she sits there and watches the videos all day and
yes, yeah,
tries to emulate what they're doing. And yeah, that stuff's expensive because the videos that they're making are paid ads for product. So she sees I don't even know what the names are. I'm not even going to try to guess.
I can't even keep up with it.
And
she has more makeup than me.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to guess what products she wants, but like she just shows me. She's like, "Dad, can we go to Sephora? And there's something I need to buy." I'm like, "All right, well we're going out later, so maybe we can stop by Kohl's and grab it for you." Yeah, my wife gets on me all the time.
Yeah, and I was like that for a while, but we kind of got overboard. So that's when we started the chore chart this year, and it really, I feel like it's helped just because it's not like it's an extreme amount of chores.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
it's easy
teaches
stuff.
them, I feel like they're more excited to buy the item too if they know it's their money that they earned. And I've really, really seen them like really thinking about their purchases.
Do they know how tax works yet? Because I always have to pay the tax for my daughter. Even if she has money.
My oldest does, yes.
It's $19.99. Dad, I have $20. Yeah, it's not enough.
Yeah, she's getting the picture there as well on taxes, but no. I think it's really important to teach your kids young because honestly, my parents did not teach me young, and not saying anything bad about them.
Yeah.
I mean, great parents, but
I think it was kind of a faux pas to talk about money back when we were kids growing up. Like our parents didn't talk about money because you just weren't supposed to. Like it was the public norm.
I feel like that's why it's kind of scary for me, to write this book, and I don't want it to come off in the wrong, way, but it's more of just to give others hope because we are ordinary people. We paid off our first house young. We were 23 and 24 and living off hardly any income. So I think the biggest thing is just if you live below your means for a short period of time, then you can live above your means later in life. So sacrifice is key. It's hard.
What was maybe one big habit that you did that was hard to do, but had the biggest bang for its buck? Anything specific come to mind?
Just staying patient. I mean,
yeah,
really just staying patient was just with everything. Because like I said, I want everything now, but I wouldn't say that now. I used to want everything now, but I've learned that waiting results in a bigger outcome.
Yeah. I need to stop drinking Monster Energy drinks. That's my biggest crutch. It's $3 a pop every time.
Yeah, I mean,
there are days I'll drink 2 of them.
I don't drink coffee, so I've not been one to go through the Starbucks drive-thru all the time.
That's normally like the low-hanging fruit is you can make a cup of coffee at home for 50 cents, or you can go grab $7, latte.
Yes. Yeah. I've tried different things. I try to do my own nails. That don't work.
I cut out doing my own nails a long time ago.
And as you get older, you got to continue to take care of your hair, and you've got to keep your appearance nice especially when you're running a business. But,
yeah.
I think it was more just like the big things, the car, not buying the car immediately. I've wanted a new car.
That's my biggest obstacle is the cars. And I don't even want like a flat. I have a truck. It's not that I have this flashy sports car,
right.
Corvette or whatever. Pick your fancy car, a white Lexus like everybody apparently is supposed to have in real estate.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Like I have a truck and I like my truck, but also like change. So I'll change every now and again.
Yeah.
Every couple of years, get a new truck. I don't know. I've never I know it's a double negative, but I've never not had a car payment.
Well, so that's one thing too, is like, I don't want the car payments.
Oh, I'd love to not have it,
yeah,
but
yeah. Well, my husband, Mark, he's pretty much like, no car payments. So, and that's one thing where he kind of stands firm on, and I've stuck with it, and it's gotten us far. So, just really trying, and he's kind of one, if you can't pay for it, in cash, then you don't purchase it, which that's not, how I necessarily think for everything, but that's how I purchased my car before we were married, 1 month before we were married. So
got it in right under the wire.
Got it right in.
Got in.
And I've had it for, 10 years. But because that's our mobile office, we're in our car for hours a day, and then having 3 kids that sit next to each other in the back seat and just fight constantly. I just want the space to separate them. It's not necessarily for the looks or to, impress other people, but that's been the biggest, that's been the hardest challenge, just not buying a new car sooner.
Yeah, that's tough. Thankfully, I actually think that I'm going to be fine for a long time with my truck. I love the current one that I have. It drives great. No issues with it. So I had to get some new tires, but I mean, that's normal in our line of work.
Yeah. I've been thankful that my car
I drove 46,000 miles last year.
Wow.
I mean, that's basically a full life of a tire.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to real estate.
Yeah. 50,000 miles for a tire is pretty normal. And I drive through a lot of construction zones because of the clients that I have. So I've got extra wear and tear than just an average realtor. What was one of the biggest misconceptions that you think people have? I know you said income is not a factor. Yeah. Anything else other than that you think is a big misconception out there?
That you have to have a lot of money in order to be successful or to become debt free, and that's not true. I think as long as you live below your means, and you sacrifice every extra pay raise, every bonus, everything, if you tackle that debt, and it can be done.
Yeah.
And I think it's just patience, teamwork, and patience and teamwork.
Yeah. I think you definitely have to be on the same page. Yeah. Both spouses have to be on the same page for you to even to have a chance of it working.
Absolutely.
You got to both be on the same page.
Yes.
Finish up with a couple of questions and we'll get out of here. What do you hope the readers feel or do after finishing your book?
I hope they feel hope.
Yeah.
I hope they feel hope that it can be done. And it doesn't take, just ordinary people can do ordinary things. You don't have to be some high-end producing person to be successful or, be debt-free.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily say successful, but I feel like if you're debt-free, you feel successful. So.
What about side hustles? Any recommendations on doing a side hustle for extra income?
Absolutely.
Did you guys do anything like that?
I wouldn't necessarily. Well, so I started I got into real estate full time in 2018, and I had a full time job. So real estate was my side hustle at first, and then it became my full time job. But work as much as you can when you're young.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband, Mark, he was working 70, 80 hours a week. I mean, just all the
What's
overtime.
he do for a living?
So he worked at Reynolds Aluminum Factory, and now he works at a chemical plant.
Okay.
So he's still, in a factory, but he always said, and it sticks with me, when you're not working, you're spending. So, in the early years, I was going to college, working, and, working 2 jobs, and he was, we didn't see each other much, but, we grinded and hustled, and it paid off quick, and anybody can do it.
Yeah. If you could sum up your philosophy on money and marriage in one sentence, what would it be?
Build your marriage like you build your wealth, with patience, passion, and purpose.
That's perfect. All right. What's next? Is there a volume 2?
No, not yet.
Are we going to be the multi-millionaire marriage?
That would be great. if my book takes off,
the
that
sequel
would be great. I hope to do more podcasts, some more like coaching, really just motivate and inspire people, and to like teach people. If people want to get into like the whole numbers thing, I'd be happy to coach on that. Probably pull my husband in with me there, but more just to give people hope and inspiration. So yes, the coaching, the podcast, all of the above. I'm going to continue with that. Possibly, a second book, but we'll see how this first one goes.
Let's get the first one out first.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, about time to roll. How's our deal going?
It's going good.
Going?
Yeah.
So we got an open house again this weekend.
We do, and we're doing some changes to the listing. So have a listing on. We're gonna split up. It's on 10 acres. We're gonna split up some of the acres. It's 2 different parcels, and list the house in 7 acres for less, and hopefully bring in some more.
So then, what the balance? What is that balance? 3?
It would be 4 acres.
Oh, it's 11 acres.
Yeah,
total.
it's 3.88. So you might
gotcha.
Say.
Yeah, we'll just call 4 for conversation.
Yeah, so 4 acres will be sold separately, or as a package deal. So we're hoping that will bring some interest. But we've had 1 to 2 showings consistently, every day or every other day. So
I mean, I'm just looking at the photos. I can see why you have that many. It's an interesting house.
It's a very unique house. But you're looking for a particular buyer too. It's got a horse barn with 4 stalls, and they've got animals. They have longhorns and all of that, which they're not. That's not going to stay. But looking for someone that might.
What are we looking price wise on the 4 acres?
We are going to list the 4 acres for $70,000, and we're going to list the house with 7 acres for $795,000. So they're coming down all together. But
was it already divided that way?
It was.
Okay.
So they purchased the lot. They purchased the house in 7 acres first, and then the lot additionally. So it's deeded separately and everything.
Yeah.
And someone might want it still as a package deal.
Yeah, I've seen listings like that where they got like a sister listing where these 2 can be bought together, but they also.
So we're going to try that to see if that will hopefully bring some more interest, or maybe even someone that's already looked at the house may be more motivated. So.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, thank you, Morgan. This was awesome. This was really fun. This was our first author we've ever had on.
This was my first podcast that I've ever done.
There we go.
So
Well, you crushed it.
I apologize.
You crushed it. Hopefully you'll have some more opportunities in the very near future with that.
Awesome.
Other than that, anything you need to plug or want to plug?
No. My book.
The book, of course. Yeah.
The book will be released early spring. If you all want to, keep up and follow me along on my social media, I will be sharing videos throughout the process and journey and pieces from the book. And it will be released, early spring. So I hope you all download it on Kindle or purchase a hardback cover and read it and learn and gain some hope.
We'll re-release this episode when the book comes out, and
Sounds
we'll do
great.
something in tandem with it or something.
Sounds great.
All right. Other than that, do all the subscribing, all that fun stuff, and we're out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.